You're not failing. The system is rigged. Wake up now. It's 3:14 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling again, the blue light of your phone illuminating a face worn down by exhaustion. You just checked your banking app for the third time tonight. The number is stagnant. Despite the overtime, despite the sacrifices, despite doing exactly what you were told to do, the math just doesn't add up. You aren't just tired, you are suffocating under the weight of a life that feels increasingly expensive to maintain. You feel like a hamster on a wheel that's spinning faster every year. But what if you aren't actually failing? What if the game you're playing was never designed for you to win? Right now, there is a silent, invisible drain siphoning $10,000 from your pocket every single year. It's not just inflation, and it's not just poor budgeting. It is a calculated mechanism of the modern economy that treats your hard-earned labor as nothing more than fuel for someone else's engine. You feel the anxiety rising in your chest, the gnawing insecurity that maybe you're just not smart enough to make it stop. That is the first lie they fed you. You have been playing by a set of rules that were written to keep you distracted, broke, and dependent. Tonight, we break the cycle. Tonight, you stop being the victim of the system and start seeing it for what it truly is, a trap, designed to keep you exactly where you are. You look at your paycheck and see progress, but the system looks at that same check and sees a target. Ever wonder why, despite every promotion or cost of living adjustment, your bank account remains stuck in the same place? It's not a coincidence. It is an architecture of friction. Every day, you are funneled into high-frequency, low-value spending habits that feel like lifestyle choices, but are actually carefully curated wealth drains. You are being nudged. From the way your grocery store layout dictates impulse buys, to the invisible interest compounding on your debts, to the subtle inflation of your daily services, you are participating in a game designed to keep you at exactly zero. You think you are treating yourself for a hard week of labor. In reality, you are paying a hidden tax for the convenience of staying exactly where you are. You look for the culprit in the mirror, blaming your lack of discipline or your shopping habits. But stop. That guilt is the barrier they placed between you and the truth. You aren't losing $10,000 because you're lazy. You are losing it because you are a loyal customer of a system that views your savings as its revenue. The moment you accept that the system isn't broken, but is instead working perfectly against you, is the moment the power dynamic finally shifts. You aren't just struggling with money, you are struggling with a design. And today, we expose the blueprints of that design. Debt is time theft. Stop the hemorrhage. The truth about interest. It starts with a simple, seductive promise. Buy now, pay later. It feels like a tool. It feels like empowerment. But it's actually a weaponized form of time theft. Every dollar you spend on interest is a minute of your life you are paying to a bank just to exist. You've been conditioned to view debt as a normal phase of life, like school or aging, but it's not normal. It's an extraction protocol. Think about your monthly subscription services, your high-interest credit card minimums, and those essential upgrades you keep justifying. Combined, they aren't just expenses, they are a constant slow-motion hemorrhage. This is the velocity of your decline. The faster you earn, the faster you spend, and the faster the interest accumulates. You are working harder to fuel a machine that profits from your inability to keep your own cash. You feel that tightening in your stomach whenever a bill lands in your inbox. That isn't just stress. That is your biological alarm system finally catching up to the fact that your financial oxygen is being cut off. You are being drained in real time, and the worst part is, the system has convinced you that you are the one responsible for the leak. But once you realize that your money is being weaponized against your future, the panic stops, the math shifts, and for the first time, you start to see the exit. Now, look closer at the choices you make every single morning. You think you're choosing convenience. You're choosing the subscription service, the pre-made meal, the brand name upgrade because you're exhausted from the grind. But this is the final layer of the trap. They've marketed comfort as a necessity to keep you from ever having the surplus capital to actually escape. It's a genius loop. You work a high-stress job to afford the coping mechanisms you need to survive that high-stress job. Every little treat is a transaction that secures your place in this cycle for another month. You aren't buying freedom. You're buying a sedative. Meanwhile, the $10,000 you lose annually isn't just evaporating, it's being redistributed. It's flowing into the portfolios of the very people who designed the system to benefit from your fatigue. They count on your emotional exhaustion. They count on the fact that you're too tired at the end of the day to question the math. But notice how your stress levels drop when you stop trying to keep up with the neighbor's lifestyle. That isn't coincidence. That is the feeling of unplugging. You start to see that the middle-class dream is just A thin veneer covering a massive wealth transfer. You aren't losing money because you're bad at math. You're losing money because you're playing a rigged game where the board is designed to look like the only path forward. Reclaim your time. Starve the system. The architect arises. It's time to stop looking for the exit and start building it. You've been programmed to believe that wealth is a product of luck or a high-paying title. But that's just more noise. The elite secret isn't in how much you make. It's in how much of your labor you actually keep. While everyone else is busy upgrading their lifestyle to match their paycheck, you are going to do the unthinkable. You are going to starve the system of its fuel. Every dollar you keep is a micro-investment in your autonomy. When you stop chasing the sedatives, the convenience fees, the status symbols, the interest-bearing debt, you aren't just saving money. You are reclaiming your time. And time is the only currency the system can't print. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being strategic. It's about recognizing that every single purchase you make is a vote for who you want to be, a consumer of their products or the architect of your own future. The anxiety you felt at 3 a.m., that's gone, because now you have a blueprint. You aren't playing their game anymore. You are playing yours. You look at your bank account now and you don't see a stagnant number. You see potential energy. You see a buffer. You see the foundation of a life that no one else can dictate. The silence of the house isn't heavy anymore. It's peaceful. You are finally, undeniably awake. Now, the real shift begins. Most people quit here. They read the book. They watch the video. They feel inspired. But they return to the old habits by Monday morning. But you aren't most people. You have seen the architecture of the drain, and you have chosen to stop the leak. This is where the compound effect takes hold. It isn't just about the $10,000 you're saving. It's about the mental bandwidth you are reclaiming. Imagine a version of yourself that doesn't wake up with a pit in their stomach. Imagine a career move made out of desire rather than desperation. When you possess the liquid capital that the system desperately needs from you, the leverage shifts. You become the one with options. You stop taking the first offer. You stop settling for the standard rate. And you start negotiating your life from a position of strength. This is not about being a billionaire tomorrow. It is about the radical transformation of your baseline reality. You are no longer reacting to the system. You are navigating around it. The money you keep is your freedom fund, your peace of mind, and your ticket to an entirely different class of existence. The grind hasn't disappeared, but for the first time, you are the one holding the hammer. And as that number in your account finally starts to climb, you realize the greatest investment you ever made wasn't in an asset. It was in the decision to finally wake up. Never go back. Your future, your choice. Stay the architect. This is the final turn. You've deconstructed the drain, identified the leaks, and claimed your sovereignty. But the real test isn't what you do in this moment. It's what you do when the world tries to pull you back in. They will offer you new upgrades, new debts, new ways to feel normal. You will see them clearly now, not as opportunities, but as chains. You are no longer playing a game of catch-up. You are building a fortress of autonomy. The $10,000 you saved this year is just the beginning. It's the seed capital for a life where your time, your decisions, and your future belong entirely to you. You aren't just a worker anymore. You are the architect of your own ecosystem. Look back at the version of yourself from the beginning of this journey, that person in the dark, checking their phone, drowning in anxiety. That version of you is gone. You've replaced fear with strategy and insecurity with cold, hard logic. The system relies on your silence and your participation. But you've stopped participating. You've stopped being a fuel source. You are now the master of your own destiny. The path ahead isn't paved with shortcuts, but it is clear, and it is yours. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and never forget the cost of your freedom. Now go out there and keep every cent that belongs to you. Your future is not a destination. It is a choice you make every single day.